In an ancient village where the drums once echoed power and the people feared their king, the king was dying. And in the silence of his palace, a decision was made, one that would change everything. 3 princes, 3 heirs, but only one would survive the truth. Only one would ascend the mighty throne. They were sent away, stripped of their names, their power, their identity. No one was supposed to help them, but someone broke the rules. Secrets were planted, shadows followed them, and lies walked beside 2 of the princes. Only one of them would face the world completely alone, watched from a distance, judged in silence. Their every choice, their every weakness, their every truth was being recorded. Because this was never just a test of survival. It was a test of who deserved to rule, who deserved to be called a king, and who was never meant to.
This is the story of a dying king who had to choose one of his 3 sons to ascend the throne. Long before the rivers forgot their paths and the baobab trees grew ancient with memory, there was a powerful king named Oba Adewale, ruler of the prosperous village of Ile-Ori. His land was rich, wise, and peaceful. His people were loyal. His palace gleamed under the golden sun. But even kings are not greater than time. One fateful season, the king fell ill. At first, it was a simple weakness. Then it grew worse. The royal herbalists came with roots and leaves. The priests called upon the gods with sacrifices and chants. The drummers beat through the night, begging the ancestors for mercy. But nothing worked. The king grew thinner. His voice faded. His once mighty presence weakened like a dying flame. And deep inside, he knew the truth. His time was coming to an end.
The king had 3 wives, each powerful in her own right. The first wife was Queen Adesua, proud and commanding. She saw everyone to be her servant. She was rude to almost everybody, irrespective of their positions in the palace. Queen Adesua was not just a wife, she was a force. She came from a powerful lineage of warriors, and even in the palace, she carried herself like someone born to command. Her voice was sharp, her presence undeniable, and her pride unshakable. She believed deeply in strength. To her, the throne was not a gift, it was something to be claimed and protected. The second wife was Queen Anali. Calm and deeply wise, loved by almost everyone in the village. She was known among the people as the most gentle of the king's wives, but those who truly knew her understood that her quiet nature hid a deep and powerful wisdom. Where the others sought control, she sought understanding. She listened more than she spoke. She observed more than she judged. Anali believed in balance, the balance between strength and compassion, power and humility. The third and last wife was Queen Morella, cunning and strategic. If Queen Adesua was fire, Morella was shadow. She rarely raised her voice, she didn't need to. Her strength was not in force, but in calculation. Morella was known throughout the palace for her intelligence. She observed everything, spoke carefully, and always seemed to know more than she revealed. While others reacted, she planned. Morella did not trust fate, she trusted strategy. Each wife had a son. All 3 sons born just months apart. Prince Ayo, born by Queen Adesua, was the kind of man people noticed the moment he entered a room. Tall, confident, and commanding, he carried himself like someone who had never been told no in his life. From childhood, he was praised for his strength, his boldness, and his presence. But beneath that confidence was something more fragile. He had never truly been tested. Raised by Queen Adesua, Ayo was taught that power was everything. He believed leadership meant dominance, that a king must be feared before he is respected. If they do not fear you, they will not respect or follow you. Because of this, Ayo struggled with humility. He didn't listen well, he didn't understand weakness, and he had little patience for those who couldn't keep up with him. Prince Sadiq, born of Queen Anali, was quiet, observant, and humble. Prince Sadiq was the least noticeable of the three. He didn't speak loudly, he didn't demand attention, he didn't try to prove himself, but he saw everything. Raised by Queen Anali, Sadiq grew up learning not how to rule, but how to understand. Listen before you lead, feel before you judge. Unlike his brothers, Sadiq was not filled with certainty about his destiny. He didn't assume he would be king, and because of that, he was the only one prepared to grow. Prince Kunle, born of Queen Morella, was intelligent but entitled. Prince Kunle was different. He wasn't the strongest, but he was the smartest. He had a sharp mind, quick thinking, and a natural ability to understand situations faster than most. In the palace, he was known for solving problems others couldn't. But there was a hidden weakness in his brilliance. He relied too much on advantage. Raised by Queen Morella, Kunle learned to think ahead, but not necessarily to endure. He believed that every situation had a shortcut, a smarter way, a way to avoid unnecessary struggle. Why suffer when you can outthink the problem? Because of this mindset, Kunle became dependent on control. He liked situations where he had the upper hand. He avoided discomfort, and when things didn't go his way, he looked for ways around them instead of through them. One evening, as the king laid on his carved ivory bed, he summoned all his 3 sons. His voice was weak, but his words carried the weight of destiny. My sons, one of you must take the throne, but a king is not made by birth, he is revealed by character. The queens exchanged glances. Queen Adesua felt very disappointed because she thought her son was the oldest and so deserved the throne. Unknown to her, the other queens equally believed their sons deserved the crown as well, and so deep inside was very happy with the words from the king. The tension in the room thickened like storm clouds. The king continued, "In order to select one of you to be the king of this land, there is a task to be fulfilled. The prince who is able to complete this difficult task successfully will be the rightful heir to the throne." All the princes were anxious to know what this task was. "You will leave this palace. You will go to other villages far from the neighboring villages where nobody knows you," said the king. "You are to live as ordinary men, no titles, no servants, no wealth." Gasps filled the room. "Live among the people, work as they work, suffer as they suffer. Learn what it means to lead by first learning how to live." None of the princes were allowed to reveal who they were, but unknown to them, the king had already sent spies to secretly observe their every move. That night, while the palace slept, 2 of the queens made dangerous decisions. Queen Adesua, who believed her son was the rightful owner of the throne, whispered to her trusted servants, "Follow Prince Ayo. He must not suffer. My son was not raised as a king just to live like a mere peasant. Make sure to get him a nice place to live. Help him with everything he will need, but be careful to not get caught because there might be people watching." Queen Morella did the same. "Kunle is too important to struggle like common people. Protect him quietly. Be there for him when needed. Hire people to work on farms on his behalf if you have to. Make sure he doesn't lack anything. Make sure his life isn't stressful until he returns back to this palace to claim his throne." But Queen Anali did nothing. She simply sat under the moonlight and whispered, "If my son is meant to rule, the world will prove it." At dawn, the 3 princes left the kingdom. Each stepped into a different path. Each unknowingly stepped into destiny.